Hey everybody, on today's short and sweet, hopefully, Facebook Live video, we're going to talk today about how to get started with blogging. And I'm just going to share with you really quick why I'm so passionate about this. I believe that we're in an incredibly content-driven world right now. And content drives several things. If you really think about it, your drip emails are content, your text messages are content, your Facebook posts are content, right? Getting onto the search engines and getting leads comes from content. Posting Facebook ads and items of value and your properties are all content. So you can't avoid that that's where it's at, although there's lots of things that you can do about how to find help with it. But I want to specifically talk about blogging because blogging actually generates listings. So if you want to get listings, this is where you want to be thinking about. So I'm going to give you some quick tips, easy for me to say, on how to get started. First thing you want to have is an SEO friendly blog site. Okay. Now, I am not a huge fan of Blogger, Blogspot, any of those types of borrowed blogs that aren't your own. Although I do believe you can get a lot of traffic from them, it's a better practice to own your own, build your own, so that those assets return, traffic to you time and time again. So you're going to get some ROI on that content. Okay. So first thing you want to think about is having a WordPress blog platform. And this is going to be a fully hosted, paid for WordPress website. It's so funny. My cat's going to jump up here any second, I think. And so then you're going to wonder, okay, what is it that I want to be blogging about? So here's the first thing I would do if you want to start blogging for real estate. The next appointment you go on with a buyer or a seller, write down the questions that they ask you in the appointment. Those are going to be your absolute best blogs that you can ever create. So you're going to think about this video when you're sitting there with this buyer or seller and they ask you a question. So what you do is you go back to your house and you say, okay, so what they asked me was, what happens if I get multiple offers on my property? Good news, that's fantastic. What you want to do is actually start the blog with the question. So the title of the blog post is going to be, what happens if I get multiple offers on my house? Okay, whatever it is that they ask you, that's going to be the title of the blog. When it comes to the search engines, the most important, one of the most important keyword placements today in 2017 is still in that title. And how you phrase that title and what you put in that title matters. Now, if you're using something like Yoast, which is a free plugin for WordPress, or you could pay for their premium version, there's a way where you can change the title and you can have a title that shows to the search engines and you can have a different title that shows for social media. And there really is a reason to phrase those differently. They appeal to people differently, and how social posts that title versus how search engines post that title is a little bit differently. So you're going to phrase that question in, what happens if I get multiple offers on my house? And then you're going to answer it, and you're going to answer it as in depth as you possibly can. My advice to you is to plan on 1,000 words. So plan on 1,000 words to answer their question. Now, the easiest way to digest that concept of 1,000 words, which isn't really a massive amount today based on what we're seeing, is to break it down into paragraphs. So you might say, okay, let me break this down into 4 250-word paragraphs. So what happens if I get multiple offers on my house? The first paragraph might be why you might get multiple offers on your house, and it's 250 words long. And the second one might say, what happens when you get multiple offers on your house? And it breaks down, the rules on presenting them and countering them. And your third paragraph might be, which offers should I accept when getting multiple offers on my house? You don't have to say the keyword phrase in every one of those. I'm just giving you the example of the paragraph heading. And the fourth one might be what to do to get multiple offers on your house. And that's going to be choosing the right real estate agent, pricing your your house at or just below market, staging it, you know, those types of things. And now you have a 1,000-word article. What we find, a blog post, what we find in the search engines, in my tools that I use, is that I find that most page one, most of the search engine results page one, the top 10 listings on Google, have 1,000 words or more. And so this is a good gauge for you if you're wanting to beat the competition and get listings through your real estate blog on the web. Don't shortcut it. Don't shortchange it. So here's something else you can do. Now I'm doing this Facebook Live, by the way, for a reason. Not because there's a million visitors on here live when I'm making the video, but because what I can actually do is I can save this video. Once I'm done making the video, I can right click to open the video, and then I can change the front where it has the HTTPS and make that M for mobile. So it'll be m.facebook and then the rest of the video. And then I can save this video and download it to my hard drive, and then I can upload it onto YouTube. Or I can embed this Facebook Live video onto a web page or onto a blog post, which then gets it more views and more interaction. I'm able to use it. So I'm figuring if I'm going to make a video for something anyway, might as well Facebook Live it and get it a little bit more reach, right? And so what you could do if you want to is you could make a Facebook Live like this, and you could say, you know, I was with the seller earlier today, and the seller asked me what would happen if he were to get multiple offers on his house. Wouldn't that be fantastic news? Well, let me break down for you what that looks like. You know, first of all, why would a seller get multiple offers on the house? And then you start talking and you do it that way. Well, I bet that you can say 1,000 words easier than you can type 1,000 words. So all you have to do is make your video, and then you can use software, or you can send it to a company like rev.com, and that's rev.com. And for $1 a minute, they will transcribe your verbal word into written word. There's a software I use now called TubeBuddy. I'll put the link up here. And TubeBuddy has a link where they will actually put the captions on this video so that while it's rolling through Facebook, it has the words across the screen. And if you can get a copy of that transcript, you can just put that in there in your blog post for your written word instead. But it's important that you're focused on phrase the blog as a question, answer the question, answer it in depth. That's the key to blogging in 2017. Okay? Question, answer it in depth. If you can do that and make it about 1,000 words, you have a really good chance on getting listings and buyers in your area. I'm telling you guys, real estate agents are not doing this. It's so funny. For some reason, we've given up. It's like we're going, oh, well, Zillow's got got domination anyway, so why bother? Guys, they're not blogging like this. They're not blogging about local. They're not solving problems. They're, you know, these little filler blogs and these little, you know, how to stage your home, little tiny things don't go anywhere. They're not going to rank on the search engines for those. So this is your opportunity, and all you have to do is answer questions. You don't have to be a writer. You have to know your industry. You have to know real estate. You have to know your market, and you have to be able to answer questions. So you're out touring with a buyer, right? And the buyer's looking at houses and says, how come you didn't show me that one, right? And you see the sign in the yard. How come you didn't show me that one? Raise your hand. How many of you guys have been out there with a buyer and they want to know why you didn't show them that house as you're passing by one that has a yard sign? Well, what a great blog post that would make. Why didn't my realtor show me every house? Okay, and then you answer it and explain, you know, that properties go under contract and what contingent or pending means, or whatever it is in your market, and why you don't like to show those on your website, or why you don't pull those out. You know, you might talk about vacant listings versus houses that are on lockbox, and ones that require showings, and appointment with the listing agent, and those types of things. You might want to point out how the features weren't the same. And as you're doing this, you're actually putting real estate keywords without realizing it all through your blog post. And now all of a sudden your blog post that was originally about why didn't my realtor show me every house is now ranking for seller keywords and for listing keywords and for buyer keywords. You know, you want to make sure after you create this blog that you follow some practices, and I have a complete training system actually at theballenmethod.com where you can learn what those practices are. And on my YouTube channel, of course, there's tons of videos. So you're going to focus on where you put your keywords, internal linking, adding video, adding images, you know, some of those types of things. But you can do nothing else and just write a plain text blog answering questions and start ranking on the search engines. Then you can also share those on social media. I love a Facebook ad where I have boosted a blog post I wrote all about how much is it going to cost me to sell my house in Las Vegas. Instead of find out what your house is worth. And now we get every Tom, Dick, and Harry that owns a house filling out a home valuation request, and I have to pay per lead or per click or however I got that set up, right? And they probably have no interest whatsoever in selling their house. But if they're clicking on a blog post that says, how much is it going to cost me to sell my house in Las Vegas, there's a very good chance that person actually wants to sell. Of course, once they click through, now I capture the lead by offering an instant home valuation. But we're promoting that blog post first. So what if you just took one a week? Let's start with one a month. What if you just took one a month and said, I'm going to take one question that my seller asks me this week, and I'm going to write a blog about it. And I'll write 250 words of it each week. And by the end of the month, I have a 1,000 word blog post. Or I'm just going to put it on video and have it transcribed. Or I don't like how I look on video, so I'm just going to talk into a recorder. I'm going to send that recording to rev.com and have them put it in a transcript for me, or to a virtual assistant or whatever you want, and I'm going to put that one up there. Okay? So this is how you get started with blogging. I often teach hyper-local blogging, which is like things to do on Mother's Day, best places to go see the holiday lights. Right now I'm working on 501 things to do in Las Vegas, things to do with kids that are free, you know, all of those kind of things. But I suggest you start with the real estate side first so that Google doesn't think you're Wikipedia. You want them to know you're real estate related first, okay? So there's my suggestions today, little bite size on how to get started with blogging. Let me know if you have any questions. Check out theballenmethod.com. And oh, by the way, my team can write all of these blogs for you. So check us out at ballenbrands.com. Talk to you guys later.